I have created nothing really beautiful, really lasting, but if I can inspire one of these young people to develop the talent I know they possess, then my monument will be in their work. Augusta Savage's The Harp was destroyed due to systemic neglect and financial barriers that often silence Black artists in her time. Art is not a creation, it's a testimony. Augusta Savage, a Black woman sculptor in the early 20th century, understood this better than most. Born in 1892 in Green Grove Springs, Florida, Augusta Savage showed a natural talent for sculpting at a very young age, molding clay and red earth around her home. From the time I can first recall the rain falling on the red clay in Florida, I wanted to make things. When my brothers and sisters were making mud pies, I was making ducks and chickens in the mud. She sculpted not just with her hands, but with her mind, pouring out her works that spoke to the soul of Black America. Her greatest masterpiece, The Harp, stood tall at the 1939 New York World's Fair. Unlike other sculptures at the 1939 New York World's Fair, the harp was cast in plaster, not bronze, because Savage lacked the funding to create a permanent version. A breathtaking 16-foot sculpture inspired by Lift Every Voice and Sing, the hymn that became our Black national anthem. Savage turned music into form, shaping a choir of Black figures rising like harp strings. At their feet, a young boy knelt, with his hands together in prayer, symbolizing both the sorrow and strength of a people who endured so much, yet still dared to hope. The world wondered and the critics marveled at the harp. It was a triumph of Black artistic expression, standing proudly in a world that often sought to erase Black brilliance. But admiration does not mean preservation. When the fair ended, Savage, who had already faced countless racial and financial obstacles throughout her career, was unable to afford a studio or a space to preserve her work after the fair. Instead of receiving the recognition and financial backing that could have secured her legacy, she struggled in obscurity. The Harp, a towering tribute to Black resilience, was abandoned and left to be forgotten. There was no institutional support to preserve or relocate the piece. Without resources for storage or transportation, the harp was simply dismantled and discarded. This highlights an all too common fate for Black artistic achievements in a world that admired their brilliance, but refused to sustain them. Its physical form was lost. Its spirit remains a powerful reminder that we need to protect, fund, and uplift Black artistry, ensuring that the future will never face the same fate. At Cultural Collective, we refuse to let our artistry be discarded. We invest in artists and dreamers and in the power of creation as a tool for liberation. The Empowerment Fund directly supports creatives, ensuring that their voices are heard, their visions are realized, and their legacies are given to the next generation. I have created nothing really beautiful, really lasting, but if I can inspire one of these young people to develop the talent I know they possess, then my monument will be in their work. Beyond her own artistic achievements, Savage was a mentor and advocate for the next generations of Black artists. She founded the Savage Studio of Arts and Crafts in Harlem, where she taught and nurtured young talents, including future legends like Jacob Lawrence and Norman Lewis. She would later become the first Black woman to establish her own art gallery in Harlem. We invite you to honor her story by giving what you can. Donate to the Empowerment Fund today to be part of a future where art is never erased again.